Hey all, welcome back to another episode of Modded Minecraft. Less is more. Uh, I am in a test world, and I want to compare, or not compare. What I wanted to do is figure out what I wanted to do for my major power production. Because to be able to run all the alvearies, industrial and otherwise, eventually I'm going to need a lot of power, and it will need to be constant, almost constant. So I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for what was most efficient. So what we have is kind of a comparison between compression and the Railcraft steam boilers. So we have a low-powered max-size steam boiler here. This is I think they call it a 36 LP low pressure, and it's capable of handling 9. I've only got 8 on here just for aesthetics purposes. Once it hits max temperature, and its max temperature, well, its efficient is 500 is when it's the most efficient. And this is really pretty quick for a low pressure. It took almost no time in comparison to this one over here. And I don't think these are, yeah, you can see that one over there is not even hot enough yet to run all its engines. This one I think is max. This one's close because that's just the order I built them in. There's 4 there with 16 engines per high pressure boiler, and those are max size boilers. So let's make it daytime before it gets dark. Now this is the fuel that it's used to get to the point it's at right now. All right, not very much. Not even 100 buckets, I don't think, something like that. And each one of these is producing 80 RF a tick, just so you can see it's 80 RF a tick. But it's not a lot. That's all it will handle. Fuel's very good though. You can see it's been running for hours, literally. Now we come over here and we got 4 max size high pressure boilers, which can handle up to, I think, 18. Is it I think it's 18 at max temperature, which is 1,000. This is 500. This one's 1,000. It's basically a double what this one will produce with this one. Okay, so there's 4 of these, 16 engines per. That's over 5,000 RF a tick. This will actually power a turbine at max power for big reactors, I believe. Now, if we look at the fuel consumption that it's used to get to, where's this one at? It's at 816. This one's all the way at 1,000. This one's a little bit higher than this one just because I had ethanol in there at first, and I said, you know what, let's see what fuel will do. So I changed it out, just let the ethanol run out, and then slap that on there. That's why this one is a little bit lower, or a little bit higher on the fuel. But you can see it's pretty efficient. I mean, this has run for, oh my God, 4 hours or so, or longer. I watched so many TV shows on Hulu last night, just letting this thing heat up. And this is the only one so far that's reached max. This one should be close up here, though. No, it's 851, 818. Yeah, 818. These are both the same. I powered them up at the same time. So this is producing quite a bit. I filled up 2 of these. I hate when it does that. So if we come over here and take this one off and slap that one on, you can see how quickly it's filling up there. That's not bad. All right. So how do we compare that to compression? Just kind of get design. I was trying to make this kind of cool and use the Railcraft pipes, but it just has a real problem pulling all the energy out. So I got rid of that, and then this is the same out. There are 64 engines here, compression engines, and each of them has the. I didn't put the augment in there. This one here, the field limiter. I would put this in the my survival world just because what this does is it allows these to throttle down to 0. Now, if you don't put that in these engines, what will happen is it will constantly kind of run, and you can see right here that it's outputting 8 RF a tick constant, even though it's off now. It's filled this cell up, and it's constant, so it's going to constantly drain fuel. The benefit for this over the boilers for me is that these will shut off. If I don't need all that power, I can shut it off. It will just pull from the engines that it needs. That's why I have the coal steam engines that have all these upgrades in them. But at first you take a major hit on your fuel with this one, because it's got to take 4 buckets of fuel per engine. So when you first start this up, boy, it just drains this tank, just shook, because it takes all that fuel and it shoots them out to the engines. This is just because I was playing with the design, because this is the route that I'm going to go. I'm not going to do all this. This may be very, very efficient if you have if you're going to run like a turbine or something, and you don't want to mess with a big reactor. Of course, to really make a full powered turbine, you would need a big reactor for a little while, at least enough to get the plutonium to make the turbine stuff that you need. But this looks pretty cool. Again, I was just messing around with design. This is just a boiler on top of a boiler, so on and so forth. So the efficiency is pretty good with all these upgrades in here, because this gives us an 85% it's a 85% base fuel energy. It's really a fuel efficiency. It uses the fuel a lot more efficiently. You get a lot more power out of it. But this isn't bad either. Everybody's kind of bad mouthing the Railcraft boilers on Reddit. Reddit. That's for Computercraft. I don't see a problem with this. The only reason I'm not going to use it is I just have a feeling this is eventually going to cause some sort of lag if there's a bunch of these. This probably would not be very server friendly. You probably would not want to do this on a server because of all this, and the noise is another reason I'm not going to go with this. I'm sure there's a config to shut that off, but it's pretty easy to set up. You just need water. I just use creative tanks here because, of course, water's so easy to generate. But you can kind of see here where it's a boiler. There's a layer of stone in between, just because if these touch, it will break the multi-block, so that's why there's the rock in between. But I say go for it. This is not a bad, if you got the fuel for it, and this is fuel, and the reason I'm doing fuel is I've got a bunch of fuel and I got to find out, something to do with this. So I may do 32 compression for ethanol, maybe another 32 for fuel, just so I can use that stuff. And then on top of that, I've got the I've got quite a few steam engines now. I'm not even sure. 2 stacks now, 7 on a side. So yeah, there's quite a bit there. So I just wanted to show you options. This will be less efficient with ethanol than it will be with fuel. Fuel is by far, and I think I did it in another video, is by far the most efficient fuel in the game. And couldn't get to my thing here. Damn cat was in the way. So this I just wanted to kind of show. Resource wise, this is going to be you probably want to set up a factory to make these. This is, each one of these things, if you look at let me see, these are compression. If you look at each one of these things, this is a craft, that's a craft, and then the whole thing is a craft. Then you have to come over and make this augment 64 times, this augment 64 times, this augment 64 times, etc. So That's a lot of resources, so this may be something you want to build up to. That's why I've been so slow in building up the steam engines and the compression engines, just because it just takes so long to put them all together, even with the easy crafting table. So this is going to be real short one, just kind of give you an idea of where we're headed. It's going to be the compression dynamo. Probably not going to do these Railcraft boilers just because of the noise and the time it takes to, because not only does it take time to build all this up, then I got to sit here for hours and hours and hours before I can use them. Now this one's pretty quick. If you don't need too much power, or you just want to build a bunch of these, you can do these. These are really quick. Just remember, this is half of what this one does. This one can handle 9, this one can handle 18. So this is supposed to be more efficient, but I don't I guess it means more efficient for the fuel. The thing for me is that if I got to make, you know, 2, I got to make 8 of these things to get the same amount of power as these 4. See what I'm saying? So I'm all these number crunchers out to say this is more efficient, the way to go. Plus, you don't have to make steel, but because this is an iron tank, the low pressures are iron. This one is steel. Steel's not too bad to make. Honestly, it's just 1 stack of iron and 2 stacks of pulverized coal will get you a stack of steel. So just depends on what you want. So this is it. Just a real quick kind of overview of where we're gonna head to, and there will be probably 2 videos out pretty rapidly because there's some other stuff I'm doing in my survival world. So guys, appreciate you coming by. Until next time, I will see y'all later.